Hi, good day to Bani Lahari Speaks YouTube program. We are inviting you to listen and sit around and listen to our topic for today, namely, impossible is possible. Now, this is what many a time we hear people talking about impossible, and many a time we hear people talking about things being possible. But we cannot use both ways, whether we use impossible or we use possible. It's important that we reference to God's word, because with God, everything is possible. So it says in Luke 1 verse 37, with God nothing is ever impossible, and no word from God shall be without power or impossible of fulfillment. So that simply means that with God, everything is very possible. There is nothing impossible with God. So you and I, we are created in His image. Yes, there are times where we feel things are impossible, but we need to learn. If God says nothing is impossible, we need to learn. Now, we believe in the working together principles and philosophy. Obviously, when we talk about working together, philosophy with its principles, then I can really assure you, impossible is very possible. It's a matter of a mindset to look at things and you believe that you might not overcome them or you cannot live above them. We have to understand certain dynamics, that we were created with power. We were created with the power to handle anything on this planet. Limitations is what we create for ourselves. Impossible is how we look at the situation and believe we cannot overcome it. And it becomes very impossible. But I want to take you back to the philosophy of working together and show you how we can turn impossible things to become very possible. To look at things that are unsurmountable to make them surmountable. A number of things that we need to look at is that there are limitations. But let me assure you, limitations can be overcome. But we have to know how to overcome limitations. Limitations is what, when we perceive or we look at, we then develop this attitude of not being able to do it or understand it. So these are barriers. We have to identify limitations. In anything you do, we have to identify limitations. And it's very important. When we have identified limitations, then we have to find ways of how can we circumvent these limitations. And when we have a way of circumventing limitations, then we have to begin to begin to develop creative solutions. Because we have creativity in ourselves. We have in our minds, we have creativity. In a form of a team, we have different thoughts that can be put together and assist us to create a solution with which we can move forward with. Then to overcome the limitation that is facing us as a group. Now, we have barriers in our lives. In anything we do, we have barriers. But barriers can be broken. Barriers can be easily broken. Again, we have to recognize what is it what are those barriers that really forces us not to move forward. What are those barriers? Because anything, if you can be able to identify what that is that causes you not to move forward, then you are positioned better to can be able to solve that type of a problem. Now, once we have identified those barriers, we have to begin to identify ways of dismantling these barriers. Because barriers can be dismantled, and only if we put our thoughts together. Now once we have identified them, then we're going to begin to take action to move these barriers. Because anything that is in front of us that stops us from moving forward, once we have identified what that is, then we have to take action to remove it on our way, so that then we can move forward with ease. Now, there are challenges in whatever we do. In working together, there are challenges, but those challenges can be overcome. Now, if we are able to overcome challenges, then we must have a systematic way of doing or taking action to overcome those challenges. When challenges come, the first thing we need to do is to embrace them. We cannot act against them. We have to embrace those challenges. And once we have embraced the challenges, then we have to find a strategy to overcome those challenges. Now, there's this quality called perseverance. When we are faced with challenges, perseverance is the only quality that can afford us to move forward, to move through these difficulties, to really move with great esteem through these difficulties, to overcome these difficulties. Because the more these challenges stand on our way, the further we will go in achieving our dreams. Dreams can be achieved. And that is what we have to believe in, that dreams can be achieved. But how do we then achieve these dreams? It is very important that we have to set goals in working towards achieving the dreams. Because it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen on itself, on its own. We have to influence it to make sure that it does happen the way we want to see it happening. Now, when you have a dream, the most critical thing you have to do is to believe in that dream and believe that you are capable of achieving the dream you have set yourself to achieve. When you believe in yourself, nothing will ever stop you. But when you begin to doubt yourself, then you open all these failures to really discourage you and to deter you from achieving what you wanted to achieve. So it's important to believe in yourself. And there is no action that will come without, there is no dream that will manifest without actions. All dreams manifest with action. So you must be willing to take action. Because dreams are not going to come to you. Because dreams, if you don't take actions, now here's a funny thing with a dream. When we begin to take an action, it becomes like a mirage. It keeps moving forward. But that must not deter you. You've got to be steadfast. You've got to hold on. You've got to move towards it. And finally, you'll reach your destination. We easily get tired of the things that we want to achieve in our lifetime. And who's causing you to be tired? It's yourself. It's your mental capacity, how you think about things that you want to achieve. You don't have to get tired. You've got to wake up every morning, be excited of the day that's the morning that starts. Be excited of things that you want to do. And as you achieve them, congratulate yourself within the team. Because I'm showing you how possible working together we can achieve impossible things. If we work as a team, the sky is the limit. Very few things can overcome us and can deter us. Innovation is another thing that we need. We need to be innovative. And as we face these challenges, innovation happens on its own, because the more we face these challenges, the more we overcome them, the more we have to think creatively. The more creatively we think, the more easier things become for us. So we have to encourage creativity as we move on, moving forward. Everybody within the team has to be encouraged to be really creative. Come up with new ways. Look at things from different perspectives. Come up with new ideas. Explore new ideas and possibilities, because it's easy. Develop new solutions and products so that we can then, because the whole aim is to find ourselves reaching the destination that we set to achieve. There is no destination that cannot be reached. It all depends to how collectively we are moving forward. So that is why I'm saying in the group there will be those who feel things are impossible, but it's for those who see things as possible to encourage those who see things as impossible. At the beginning, we cannot all see the same way, but as we live together, as we interact together, as we collectively do things together, then there's no way. We will be, as we learn from each other, from one act to the other, then as we learn these different acts, we are building resourcefulness for ourselves. And that's how we grow, because we are interacting with so many things in our way that helps us to become better people. Progress can be made in any situation. When we have to remove impossible out of our way, progress can be made. Because we cannot remain stagnant. Because as we remain stagnant, then we are going to lose focus. As we lose focus, we are going to lose direction, and as we lose direction, we are bound to give up on the way. So progress can be achieved. Continuously improving and learning. That's the best thing we can ever do for ourselves. Because in a group, we need to understand that we need to continuously develop ourselves to become better and better and better. And we have to adapt to new ways and new situations and challenges, because these things do change. These things do change, and as they change, we have to bring solutions, better solutions to handle these changes. We have to make advances that will benefit us all, because our aim, we are together to benefit. And that's one of the principles of working together. We either rise, all of us, or we all sink down together. So the principle is we want to see ourselves achieving the goal that we set ourselves to achieve, not to fail along the way. In the process of doing all this, the good thing is we grow. Everyone grow. Grow in stature, grow in mind, grow in thinking, and we are growing in embracing changes and new experiences. Because it's only when we keep on growing, we are able to handle things that seem impossible can be handled. And as we grow, we develop new skills. We develop new knowledge. We expand in one perspective and understanding. And that's the beauty of it, of working together, because we all grow together. We all teach each their lessons to learn. Each and every one of us is learning lessons. And for those lessons that we are learning, we keep on growing, we keep on expanding, we keep on bringing new phenomena into the whole picture. And everything becomes such exciting for every one of us. Yes, we can consider it as miracles. But I want to tell you, miracles do happen. Miracles do happen in many times. You know, at times you have to believe in the possibility of the unexpected. because some unexpected events will just come into the flow and show themselves up. And the question is, how do we handle them? But we must have faith of the unknown, that irrespective, these challenges and these problems and these barriers, but one thing we know is we have to come up as victors into the whole situation. We cannot let ourselves down, because we are going to meet along the way unexpected occurrences. Huh? And when these unexpected occurrences come, we've got to be really positioned to can face them and overcome them. Now, there are times when unthinkable events become thinkable. Huh? And when that happens, we find ourselves faced with challenges that are conventional. And at that time, we need to explore the wisdom within the group. We have to look at things from a new perspective. We have to look at things from new possibilities. We have to consider things that it is possible that our previous thoughts of being impossible, we can turn them to become possible. These are some of the things that we need to do when we want to turn impossible to become possible. But the greatest them of all, we have to have faith in God. That God will never put in front of us things that we cannot overcome. He has promised us in many ways that I've given you the power. You have the power to face anything that comes before you. But what do? We limit ourselves. And that's why we are unable to achieve many things, because we have this limitation syndrome that we have adopted. But it is possible, my friend, that we need to push boundaries. We must keep on pushing boundaries. We've got to push boundaries. We've got to identify the limits and the constraints and the challenges that really face us, and we must be prepared to live about them. And we must be, all the time, we must keep on exploring new possibilities and frontiers. That's the only thing that can help, that can remove impossibility in our lifetime, in our lives, and in anything that we want to achieve. We have to all the time see ourselves venturing into the unknown territories. You see, comfort zone is okay, but comfort zone will never bring us the rewards we want to have. So we have to be able to venture into new possibilities, to venture into unknown territories, where eagles tread. We have to move in those territories and really expand our comfort zone. Because if we remain within that comfort zone, we will not achieve. Impossible will remain. We'll see things as impossible. But we have to understand all the time that the working together philosophy, it must be able, it's the one that helps us to identify these things that we are naming, so that we can then be able to move forward. We've got to understand that if we have to remove impossible things in our way, we have to take a risk. We have to take a risk. And when we take a risk, we have to be prepared to overcome the procrastination and the excuses that we always have. You see, excuses will never take us anywhere. Procrastination will never deliver the goods. We will always find ourselves stagnant, because we have been held ransom by procrastination. We are held ransom by excuses. Excuses will always be there, but we have to learn to overcome them. We have to make sure that all the time we are making progress, and we are celebrating the milestones of achieving what we intended to achieve. Yes, there are those times where, you try so hard. You try so hard and you put your heads together, but you fail. And when that time happens, we have to embrace the failure. We have to embrace the failure. We don't have to act against the failure. We have to embrace the failure and say to ourselves, where did we go wrong? Sit down, put our heads together, look at where things did not work out for us. Take few steps backward, identify where things went wrong, and recorrect. So it's our duty to keep on recorrecting ourselves. Because if we give up on situations that faces us, then we will never see the possibility of a new dawn. Now that says to us, all the time we have to believe in oneself. Believe in ourselves as a group. We have to have that strength, and we have to help generate that strength among the group members. We have to start to develop self-confidence and self-belief that I can do it. Yes, I might not know how to do it, but if I'm shown how to do it, I will definitely do it. Because we have now to begin to recognize personal strength and abilities. So this is a whole phenomena of things that we put together to remove the impossible situation for it to become possible. Now we have to set goals where we are all focusing in one direction. All of us, we have set a goal, and we have got to work towards achieving that goal. All of us. It's our commitment. That's our responsibility, and we are accountable, all of us, to make sure that we reach the destination that we have set ourselves to reach. Now, in the process, we have to embrace, obviously, a growth mindset. We don't have to embrace a limiting mindset. We have to embrace a growth mindset. And we have to learn from our failures. The more we learn from our failures, the more we allow ourselves to become better people in the future. One other thing that we need to understand is we have to begin to develop creative solutions. When we are faced with a problem, we got to get solutions. And once we have a solution, we don't ever have a problem. Now we have to begin, for us to get solutions, to do creative solutions, you have to think outside the box and explore new ideas that will bring collaborating with others to generate innovative solutions. Because we need solutions. We cannot all the time dwell on problems. Yes, there are so many problems that we are faced with. Problems of not working together, problems of hating each other, problems of not loving one another, problems of not wanting to be part of something that other people are doing. Those are all problems. But those problems, we cannot keep on dwelling on them. We have to find solutions. Now, and finding unique and effective solutions that can really make us move forward. Now, the most important thing is we have to believe in ourselves, believe in oneself. As we work together in a group, we have to believe in oneself. Now, we have to develop self-confidence and help develop self-confidence among the group members. And not only self-confidence, but self-belief as well. Because when you don't believe in yourself, what do you expect you are going to achieve? Because everything starts with you. Now we have to begin to help each other recognize personal strength and personal weaknesses. And it's important that we not have to shun away from our weakness. We delve into the weakness, we look at the weakness, and we find ways of turning those weaknesses into our strength. And once we do that, then we will be able, that the goals we have set for ourselves, we will be in a better position to achieve them. Because don't forget, we all have shared vision, shared possibilities, shared ways of achieving whatever we intended to achieve. So what we need to do, we need all of us to embrace the growth mindset. And when you talk about the growth mindset, it's the type of mindset that allows us to learn from our failures. It's important that we have to learn from our failures. There are things at times that when we do them, we will not always win. But when we realize we are not winning, we are failing, we have to hold on and begin to influence everyone to embrace a growth mindset. So that all the failures that we have gone through them, we have to go back and look at what made us to fail. What lessons are we learning? What lessons have we learned from the failure that we encountered? And that it needs a very growth mindset. And obviously, when we embrace failure, we have to view failure not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity to achieve our intentions. But if we look at failure as an obstacle, then we will never be able to move forward. So it's important that we understand those dynamics, and as we work as a group, all of us have to stay adaptable. Staying adaptable is very, very important, because we open ourselves to change. We don't channel ourselves or limit ourselves, but we open ourselves to change and to new information. And as new information comes our way, we adjust our plans. We adjust our plans. And as we adjust our plans, we develop new plans, new strategies of facing and embracing those challenges that we are faced with. So flexibility is key. We have to be flexible, because as we stay adaptable, we have to be flexible. We have not to be rigid. We allow things to happen, allow things to come, and as they come, we deal with them the way they are. And as long as at the end of the day, we emerge victors in dealing with those problems. And that's all what we need to understand, that we can turn anything and everything that is impossible, we can make it very possible. And with those few words, thank you very much. Hope to see you in our next video.